Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to decode the latest data on China's economy. Our goal is to really understand its current health and, more importantly, its future direction. This is an absolutely crucial topic for your exams, so let's get right into it.
So let's start with the one big question that everyone seems to be asking about this economic giant. After decades of unbelievable growth, is the factory of the world finally, running out of steam?
To understand this really complex topic, we're going to follow a clear roadmap. Think of it like a medical checkup. First, we'll diagnose the symptoms by looking at the economic health check. Then, we'll find the root cause by examining consumption in the private sector. After that, we'll look at the treatment plan, China's big pivot. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a summary for your revision.
Okay, let's dive into that first part, the health check. We're going to get a really clear picture of China's economic performance in 2025. As you can see right here from this timeline, the economy is still growing, no doubt about it. But the momentum, you can see it, has been visibly softening throughout the year. It's a clear downward trend. And this Q3 figure of 4.8%, this is the key data point. This is what shows that while China is probably still on track for its annual 5% target, the pace of that growth is definitely decelerating. Now, what's really interesting about this is the clear split in the economy. It's like two different stories. On one side, China is still producing goods like crazy. The supply side is resilient. But on the other side, its own people and companies are really hesitant to buy and invest. Demand is weak. And this slide just brilliantly illustrates how China is adapting to things like U.S. tariffs. It's diversifying its trade partners. It's a really key strategic shift. They're finding new markets, but the big takeaway here is that trade, it's a much more fragile engine for growth than it used to be. All right, let's move on and see how this builds a bigger picture of the main weakness that's plaguing the economy right now: domestic consumption. This is the root cause. This quote, it just perfectly captures the core problem. The entire economic structure, as powerful as it is being held back by this one weakness in consumer spending. And this chart, wow, it starkly visualizes the gap. You see retail sales growth just chugging along at 3%, while the overall economic growth target is 5%. It just falls well short. Now, here's a key term for your exam, so make a note: the wealth effect. This explains exactly why the slump in China's property market is directly hurting consumer spending. When people feel their homes are worth less, they feel poorer, and so they spend less. Simple as that.
So the crucial point to understand is that this isn't just one single issue. It's a combination of the property crisis, a real sense of job insecurity, and even long-term policy choices that have just not prioritized household income.
But beyond consumers, there's another major confidence issue, and this one is with the private sector, which is supposed to be the engine of investment. This negative number, this is a major warning sign. It shows that companies are not just investing less, they're actively reducing their investment. That's a huge vote of no confidence. And here's another important concept for your notes: animal spirits. It basically refers to the private sector's confidence. That gut instinct to invest and take risks. And right now, that confidence is very low in China. And look, this loss of confidence didn't just happen overnight. It was a direct result of shifting government policies that created this massive chill in the business community. Everyone is just in wait and watch mode. To help you remember China's main domestic headaches for your exams, just think of the big picture. P for property, I for investment, and C for consumption. Simple. PIC. So with all these deep-rooted problems, what is Beijing's long-term plan to fix the economy? What's the prescription here? Well, the government's strategy is centered on developing something they call new quality productive forces. This is the new jargon you absolutely need to remember. It's all about high-tech industries.
And just take a look at the clear priorities in the new plan. You see that technology and industry come first. This signals a major strategic pivot, especially since it's aimed at countering all those external pressures.
And this entire strategy, it's a direct response to what the U.S. calls strategic decoupling. Basically, China is trying to insulate its economy from Western restrictions by becoming a tech powerhouse in its own right. Okay, now let's pull everything together into a clear, concise summary. This is designed specifically for your exam preparation, so listen closely.
I want you to pay close attention to these key terms and figures. They really form the backbone of any good analysis on this topic. You've got your jargon, your key data points, the core problem, and of course, that handy mnemonic.
And finally, understanding these broader themes and policy shifts, that's what's going to allow you to frame a really comprehensive and insightful answer. So, with all that in mind, what do you think this big pivot to tech actually means for global competition? Something to think about.